So I guess it's an Ironman handheld games retrospect. Last time we took a look at the good but short invincible Ironman on GBA. Now it's all about the game tied to the movie that started it all, Ironman on the Nintendo DS. Ironman, the movie, was an instant classic, being a great start to what we know as the MCU today. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said about the console tie-in game. It was pretty mediocre, and it certainly didn't spawn an extensive universe of good games. But as always, here on Pocket Heroes we take a look at the portable side of universes, where occasionally we might find something that might actually be better than the main console game. Hopefully that'll be the case with Ironman on the Nintendo DS. The game opens up with a good recreation of the cave escape sequence from the movie. I always love seeing the Mark I armor in action. It's so clunky but imposing. So what we have here is a top-down isometric shooter. Kinda like those twin stick shooters, except the Nintendo DS doesn't have any analog sticks. So the way you control Iron Man is you maneuver him with the D-pad and point and shoot by using the bottom touchscreen. This sounds like it might be a little awkward, but it actually works pretty well. My shots were always accurate and it never worked against me. The face buttons work as an alternative attack depending on what suit you're wearing. For the Mark I armor is simply just a melee attack. Your main attack in this armor is a flamethrower, and man do you ever feel so badass torching your way out of this cave. Once you're out of the cave and are rocking the classic red and gold Mark III, you'll be introduced to the main gameplay loop, which are flight levels with tons of things for you to shoot at. The game still controls pretty much the same way, except now the trigger buttons act as a speed boost and the face buttons are for an EMP attack. You also have some new weapons added to your arsenal, the classic repulsor blast, targeting missiles, and one of my favorites, the unibeam. These levels are fun. They offer fast-paced run and gun action, or run and fly. The super fast speed and arsenal of weapons at your disposal really make you feel like a one-man army. I found myself getting really into the action when I was low on health and trying to outmaneuver heat-seeking missiles. The problem is that these levels get repetitive so fast. There's just really no interesting level design. You're thrown into an open map with no layout with stuff to just shoot at. Yeah, technically there are objectives that are different from one another, like protect this base or stop these convoys from escaping, but at the end of the day, all that translates to is, hey, go shoot this thing. And the things we're shooting at are not particularly interesting either. Helicopters, tanks, turrets, or some sort of building or structure. It's not until the last level of the game that we get some cool enemies to fight, which are these armored up guys with attacks similar to yours. This game could have used more on-foot sections. The game opened up with a promising level which I was hoping was representative of the rest of the game. It even had this small moment where the camera changes perspective to have you running towards a screen as you shoot at explosives to take out this mini-boss. It's weird and different, but fun. The game sadly never does anything else like that. There are like maybe 2 more on-foot levels after the opening of the game. What's cool is that you still have access to all your weapons you use on the flight levels. Although I should say that using missiles on regular dudes is kind of overkill, and the EMP ability is pretty much useless. The trigger buttons still don't do anything when you're using the Mark III armor on foot. I think adding a dash ability would have been cool, which makes me bring up the enemy variety problem again. Having some formidable bad guys that required you to use some speed to avoid their attacks could have made these on-foot sections more fun. Maybe having some drone-type enemies that swarm you and the best way to take them out is to use your targeting missiles, or disabling them with your EMP attack. Oh yeah, you can also upgrade pretty much any attribute of the armor. You gather points by taking out as many enemy equipment as you can. I like the upgrade UI. You pick up whatever component you want to upgrade and drag it over to the armor. It's barely something worth mentioning, but I don't know, I just found it really satisfying. Sadly, once again, we don't have any alternative armors besides the Mark I for the intro of the game. Man, I swear, if the next Iron Man game I review doesn't have any unlockable costumes, I am gonna absolutely lose my There's only one real boss fight, which is at the end of the game. As expected, you face up against the Ironmonger. There's no real challenge here, just a slightly tougher enemy that takes forever to bring down his health bar. His attacks are really easy to avoid. and for some reason my capturing software freaked out at the end of the boss fight. So here's a clip from the movie.
Yo, holy shit, he dead!
So that's Ironman on the Nintendo DS. There's a good game in here, just hidden underneath a lot of fluff that makes the game too repetitive. If there was more of a 50-50 split between the on-foot levels and the flight levels, the game could have had a better flow. Well, next time we're taking a look at Iron Man 2 on the DS. So subscribe to keep up with my Iron Man handheld games retrospective. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.